Okay, so we're taking a look at the 3 different wing boards that are offered on the top. We have the 4'6", we have the 5.0 in the middle, and then the 5'6" on the bottom. They all do come with this EVA deck. Right now I only have it on the 4'6", but they all come with that. So just in terms of volume, we already went over the size of the boards. We have the 4'6" is at 67 liters, and then the 5.0 comes in at 81 liters, and then the 5'6", which is the biggest, comes in at 94. So now I have the 4'6" out here, and we're going to go over some of the features, how it's built, how it's finished, the deck, all that sorts of stuff. It's all the same for the boards. They're just different sizes, obviously. So right off the bat, we have universal tracks. They're at 90 millimeters in this dimension here. That's the standard. Every single foil is going to fit that pair of tracks. That's just bare bones standard. And then I guess working from the outside in, we'll start with the finish, and the finish is it's painted, but it's a sanded painted finish, so it's extra smooth. And the paint is an enamel, so it's one of the hardest paints you can get. And the reason we went with paint, mostly for its looks, but also this enamel provides fantastic UV protection. So over the years with the sun, that paint is going to protect the epoxy, because epoxy is quite susceptible to UV rays. So with the enamel, the board is fully protected from UV rays. And also, so as far as the tracks goes, this is the insert for the track box for all these boards, and it's the one that's available on the website as well. And as you can see, it's solid wood, laminated grain wood there. And this, once these are epoxied into that wood, and then this is epoxied into the board, it is as solid as it's going to get. A lot of other boards will use like structural foam, PVC foam, which is great. I mean, you can't just put these tracks into the foam of the board, and PVC foam and structural foam is great, but it's not going to be as strong and as hard as this fully wood core. The only trade-off is a half a pound of weight. I don't mind the weight. I much rather have stronger, longer lasting than saving on weight. So in addition to those tracks being fully embedded with wood, there's obviously the layup schedule. There's a lot more glass in this area as opposed to the rest of the board, but I still went with a rather durable glassing schedule. I've had some foil boards in the past that I've bought, and I've been very unhappy with how easily you can get dings and dents on especially the bottom side of the board. So I went with an overall very durable layup. So one thing that's always done is with these boards is the rails are double thickness. So the glass from the top wraps around to the bottom, and the glass from the bottom wraps around to the top. And that means our rails are twice as thick as just the bottom or the deck. So your rails are going to take most of the abuse of the board, dropping it, getting it in and out of the car, all that sorts of stuff. And so these rails are double thick, and they also act as the backbone of the board as well. But more so, it's just that impact resistance. And furthermore, on all the corners, so the 2 front corners and the 2 back corners, patches are added, a patch about this big. 2 of those are actually added during the lamination process, so the corners are even extra reinforced just to help protect against banging into things, drops. All right, so let's just quickly go over the design. There's really nothing too radical in the design. It's kind of it's really just your middle of the road board, kind of your standard issue. We have a double concave in the front nose here that goes along with the nose rocker to help you scoop out if you fall off the foil. It'll help you bounce back up. Also beveled edges here if you're up on foil, helps you deflect off the water as well. And then working towards the rear is, you can see that there's a little bit of a kickback, but it's not a full angle to this flat surface here, because this is your planing surface, and the sharper that this is here, the cleaner the water will come off the back of the board, and it's more efficient that way. So instead of having this bevel continue and meet nice and flush, it's a really 90-degree corner initially, and then it kicks into the bevel. So that helps to make the board more efficient, get up on the foil easier, and gain speed faster. Okay, so moving towards the deck, this is a EVA foam pad. It's pretty much what all the boards are going to have, is EVA foam. And it took me a while to find a good source for this. Most in particular is EVA foam that has genuine 3M adhesive on the bottom side. A lot of the suppliers out there do not use the 3M adhesive, and it's just generally does not stick as well. So genuine 3M adhesive, once it's on there, it's not coming off, and it's a good quality foam. Gives you some grip and some cushion under your feet as well. The shape of the deck, there is a little bit of a concave in there. Again, something most boards are going to have. If you do choose to use a leash, there is a leash plug in the back here. And again, we went over the front, the back. These back corners, again, have 2 extra patches in addition to being double wrapped. So extra protection on all 4 corners of the board. All right, so that pretty much covers all the main talking points of these boards. As with everything, particularly the boards, it's just bulletproof, simple boards is what I go after. Nothing radical about it. It's just a simple board with simple materials, and it's going to be strong. That's kind of the aim here, and that's why it's priced where it's at. I'm not selling any sort of ultra new technology or crazy design. I'm just kind of taking the middle of the road and getting some boards out there, and so that's what we're getting with these. And happy to make these all here in the shop. So we cut out we CNC the foam, we bring out the blank, we laminate it, we glass it, polish it, paint it, stick on the foam, all here in the shop. So happy to do that and make just a really rock solid standard board.